Welcome to Earth 2 Comic Cast, where superheroes existing. Arowverse talk is the norm. Yes, another week of Arowverse happened, week 4, and I'm back to give you a review of it. Yes, this one is very interesting because we have Religious Fanatics, Elongated Man, Baby Dominators, which were he was so cute, it was so adorable, and we have Oliver Queen as Overwatch. Yeah. Very confusing, right? Yes, Arowverse was very interesting this week, chock full of a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of throwbacks and a lot of nods. So without further ado, let's get to it. But first, sit back, relax, and as always,
welcome to the planet.
And like I said, Religious Fanatics. So keep that in mind, and we're gonna go into Supergirl. Supergirl this week was very weird. It was very interesting, but also very weird. We started off with seeing her first act of heroism, saving that plane, and seeing a guy who was on that plane and decided to start a religion of people, of the followers of Supergirl. So we were seeing religion of the followers of Supergirl, and everyone it's kind of like a fanatic religious movement, which is kind of weird because, again, for especially for Supergirl Kara, it's like, I don't want people to worship me, and it's like, and then she's telling people not to worship her, but then they're putting themselves in danger to get her to save them, because it's kind of cultish. So there's a cult of Supergirl worshippers, which I wouldn't mind having. If I had a cult of MoeCrosby worshippers, I'd feel really awesome. But I'm not Supergirl, and I'm not, fighting for truth, justice, in the American way. So I can't, we're two different people. But anyway, she has a problem with this, and inside of this episode, we get two more things. We get a reveal of what might be the villain of the season. I believe her name is Rage. She again is from a cult. She's a cultish thing on Krypton. I believe that's her explanation. So we got, that's a nice tease, and that's a nice Easter egg drop that we got at the end of the episode. A very, very okay, bland episode of Supergirl. Nothing much to talk about for this. She stops the cults. One of the cult guys, the leader of the cult, goes to jail, and Supergirl ends. But what was also very interesting is Alex, Supergirl's sister, and her girlfriend that relationship might be hitting the rocks, because the girlfriend doesn't want kids. Alex wants kids. We get another exaggerated feeling, or we get another peek into what might be, what that relationship might be, or where that relationship might be headed. That relationship might be heading towards the rocks. So we'll watch out for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with Supergirl, to be honest. It might be something I might drop and pick back up later, depending on how you guys feel about it. But let me know down in the comment section if you guys are watching Supergirl, and if you like my review for Supergirl. And that's all I got for Supergirl this week. Next up is The Flash. Step up for me from the last couple of episodes. We got our this week's meta was an acquaintance of Barry Allen from a long time ago in the Force, someone who knew Barry, and someone who Barry kind of got fired from the Force because he thought he was dirty, but it turns out he's not dirty. He just wanted to solve the crime, and the way to solve the crime, because the person was guilty, was to dirty them. Very, very copish. Like what goes on in real life is like, I know he's guilty, but I can't prove within a reason of a doubt that he is guilty, so I'm just gonna plant evidence to make him guilty, which again is kind of wrong in the context of things, but it's wrong in the context of things, but again, this is a guilty person, and there's no other way to prove his guilt than to plant evidence. So that's him. But then we find out that he is a meta, and his meta powers are elongation or stretching. He's super stretchy, so we get Elongated Man, and that's the meta of the week. But the villain of the week happened to be the mayor of the city, who is who's corrupt and who wanted to kill the Elongated Man, and it's kind of funny because it's kind of a fun episode. But all of this is happening. Cisco gets to meet Gypsy's father. We actually get to find out what Gypsy's name is. I think it was Daisy or something of the sorts. But yeah, Gypsy's father's here. He's played by none other than the legendary Danny Trejo. So this was a very, very fun episode to see with Danny running around, and it was interesting. It was kind of like a filler episode. It was kind of nice, but we did get the men of the week, and we got a very nice play on the episode, and we got to see another, or a look into maybe another member of the Team Flash. So let's see how this goes. But one thing that did stand out this episode was, again, everyone was deferring to Iris again, who seems to be settling more into the position of the leader of Team Flash. So pretty much a lot of people were deferring to her this episode, again with Cisco running around with Danny Trejo and whatnot in that B plot. But yeah, we got to see Iris play team lead a lot. And another thing that stood out in this episode is the Killer Frost plot. Yes, we kind of left it alone for a couple of weeks, but it might be coming back as the season goes, because at the end of the season we see Caitlin walk into her apartment, and it's like, hey, note for you from whoever you were running around with at the end of, for the last 6 months, we miss you, are you coming back? And another thing was, oh hey Barry, I know he's bad, but you gave me a chance, I used to be Killer Frost, you gave me a chance, and give him a chance, kind of like stuff like that, from Caitlin, which is also, again, we haven't left, or we aren't just gonna breeze over Killer Frost. Again, it looks like they're not. It looks like she might be the B, coming up the next couple of episodes, she might be the main plot or the B plot. We'll see how it goes. I liked the Flash this episode. I didn't love it, but I liked it, and that's all I got for the Flash this week. Legends of Tomorrow. Now, what I've been telling you guys, again, this is my surprise for this season, because it seems to be getting better and better and sticking the landing with every episode. Now, in Legends this week, we pretty much pick up from where Legends ended last week. Again, we're out solving anachronisms, and we're trying to fix the timeline. And in this timeline, we get to see Ray Palmer as a kid running around. In the beginning of the episode, he's dead. It affects the timeline in the future. Ray dies in the future, or ceases to exist. The Wave Rider and the crew and the Wave Rider jump back in time to before Ray died, or before anything happened to Ray Palmer, and they go on this hunt. Again, it's a Halloween episode. They go on this hunt to kind of, it's a filler episode of the week. We go on this hunt to try to solve the murder of, or the death of Ray. And we run into a baby Dominator, which is so cute. We also get the best Singing in the Rain cameo this episode. I love this episode. I thought it was funny. I thought it had heart. I thought it was a great team building episode, again, which is what I love about Legends, is we get to see them become a team. These people were never friends. They were, we've seen them save the world twice, but they've never really felt really solid. But this episode, we get to see another, they have a new member, so this is a great team building episode. And we get to see Rory, Stein, and Jax have their own side plot. So while everyone is trying to save Ray Palmer, Stein has a side plot where his daughter is giving birth, or her time is coming. It's he's not gonna miss the birth of his grandchild, and he wants to make it there, and they steal the Wave Rider. But that doesn't even matter, because at this point, the episode was just, in my opinion, really, really good. I love this episode. I love the storyline of the baby Dominator. I love the storyline of Ray Palmer. I thought it was nice to see Ray Palmer be Ray Palmer, and what makes Ray Palmer stay the person he is, the cheerful, the always positive, look, man, what more can be said about this episode? And there was a nice, like I said, it was a nice nod to a lot of stuff. Singing in the Rain had a nice nod, with that Good Morning song, and we got the best ET episode, the best ET nod ever with Zari. Zari, again, I feel like her addition to the team is great. I like her because she looks like she might be the standout of the season. I am really loving Legends of Tomorrow. So what more can be said about Legends other than 2 thumbs up from me? So yeah, and that's all I got for Legends this week. I can't wait to see where they take us next week. So let me know if you guys love it. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Finally, we get to the show of the week, the one I think we have to wait a whole day for in between. Again, I don't understand the whole Wednesday thing, and not Wednesday thing, Thursday, but hey, look, I don't care because I love it. Arrow was good. Again, beyond good. And let me ask you a question. Are you guys loving what they're doing with the Black Siren in this season, and what they're doing with Katie Cassidy? Because again, she went from being the not the greatest member of Team Arrow, or the Arrowverse, to being one of the best things about Arrow this season, and one of the best things about Arrow in a while. She's the best opposite villain. She's the best like opposite to now Dinah, on Team Arrow. It's just, I love seeing her every episode. I love this dark look they're going with her. I love the sultry look. I just love it. And look, I could talk about Laurel Lance as much as possible, but let's get into this episode. Let's see. She starts the episode off. She's killing people, and we find out why she's killing people. They want to break the internet. Like, they literally want to destroy the internet, or so we thought. The bad guy, who is the guy Felicity and her friend from Helix released last week, are on a rampage to break the internet. Him and Black Siren are going through killing all these people, trying to get their fingerprints or their prints, and it's like they got to get to this room to open it. Felicity's doing her side mission. Team Arrow's doing their side mission. We got to see Mr. Terrific be on tech this week. Again, you have him and Felicity. You can't always have both of them doing tech, and so they figured out a way for them to both kind of do tech on their own separate missions. While she's trying to solve the mission from one end, you have Team Arrow and Mr. Terrific trying to solve the mission, and he's on tech for Team Arrow, she's on tech for herself and her friend from Helix. And it's so great to see, like, we can have tech, we can have a bunch of tech on the show, and it doesn't have to be from the same position and from the same state and from the same place. And I loved it. Oliver again has been, in limbo, but we kind of see him again come into this week and come in as Overwatch. Again, not seeing him as Green Arrow is kind of weird, but again, you have a lot of things that he has to deal with as a character, and he has to deal with being in the background, and he has to deal with not being the one to lead the team. He has to deal with not being the one in the spotlight. Look, he'll find a way to do it, and I believe the writers will find a way to bring him back and bring Team Arrow back to the way it is. But for now, I am loving Team Arrow as fractured as they are and trying to figure out things as they go. Diggle, again, it's nice to see him being steady and being the leader, but is his drug use going to come to the light? It has to, right? It has to. And when it does, I want to see how they're handling it. But again, I love this episode. Love seeing Oliver's Overwatch. Again, it's always kind of funny to see. Oh, it's not always, because it's not something we see all the time, but it's kind of funny to see Oliver sit down in the background and not be in the foreground of what happened in Team Arrow. It was a really interesting episode. I loved it, and I really believe that everyone, if you didn't like Arrow this week, I think something's wrong with you. If you don't like Arrow, period, season 6, I think something's wrong with you. But again, that's all I got for Arrow, and that's all I got for Arrowverse this week. If you're watching this video, down in the comment section, let me know what you thought about Arrowverse week 4. Again, like I said earlier, I don't know if I'm going to be watching or be heavy watching Supergirl, because it's something that I'm not feeling so much anymore. Let me know if you guys are okay with me doing the Arrowverse from Tuesday and for the Tuesday and Thursday shows, as opposed to Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Check Earth2 out on our website, earth2cc.com. Also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yes, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit us up there. I definitely hit you back. Earth2cc is all in. Yeah, we're all in, waiting for Justice League. So with a couple more weeks till Justice League drops, just let me know what your excitement level is. You already know my excitement level is through the roof. The podcast came back strong this week. We dropped the Comic-Con episode for Marvel's Runaways. We also dropped our This Week in Comics episode. That's gonna be a bi-weekly episode. Also Monday, yes, Discovery's coming back on Monday. We're gonna do our Monday discussion, and this week we're having our Rebels discussion to chronicle 4 episodes in 1 week. Yes, so a lot of things are happening on Earth 2. I like to thank you guys again for watching. I like to thank you guys for sticking with us, and I said thank you guys for sticking with us because you guys are awesome. You guys are the most awesome subscribers I think anyone can ever have. But again, it's been your boy MoeCrosby. This has been Arowverse week 4. It's been fun, but I urge you to keep reading, keep watching, and as always, go fill your long boxes. Peace.